All right, so for next week, we have a new daily review sheet. And this daily review sheet, I kept it pretty short because we're going to be doing a lot in the regular math lesson. So I only give 2 problems that are to do with fraction sense, number sense with fractions. And the whole point of these is to look at the problem and just know if it's going to be bigger than one of the factors or smaller. So if I have 1/2 times 2, in my head I'm thinking that's half of 2. So my answer is going to be smaller than 2. Whereas this one, 2 halves, I know using my fraction sense that that's 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. Whereas this one, this number is more than 1. So if I have a number that is more than 1 times another number that's more than 1, my answer is going to be bigger than both the factors. So that's the idea of that. Over here, you're comparing 2 quantities. So 4 times 2 is what compared to 2? I'm trying to get at if I have 2 numbers, 2 factors that are whole numbers, my answer is going to be bigger than both the factors. So this is greater than. Whereas now down here, I have both my factors are bigger than 1. So my answer is going to be bigger than both the factors. So again, this is going to be greater than. And then you have a mystery coordinate grid picture. I know your kids have not seen the coordinate grid, so this would be a good time to have them stand up. And then we're going to literally pretend we're X and Y. We're like a dot, a point. And we're going to start at the origin at 0, 0. And now if we're plotting points, coordinates, and I say go to 2, 1, it's right there in there, X, Y. I first go on the X-axis. So I move to the right 2, and they literally move, and then you go 1 in the Y direction, which is either up or down. So yeah, it's like another lesson to give, but it's something that you could stand up and they like it, and then they get to plot. They'd plot these 4 points, and then they would connect them afterwards to form some sort of polygon shape with straight sides. And then you're able to discuss what kind of names could this polygon have? What could we call it? Getting more and more specific as you go. So this one you're like, is it a triangle? No. Is it a quadrilateral? Yes. We could call it a quadrilateral. Can we be more specific? Yes. Can we call it a parallelogram or a trapezoid? Oh, a parallelogram? Perfect. Okay, can we be more specific than a parallelogram? Is it a rectangle? No. Is it a rhombus? So like that. Okay? All right, that's the idea of the daily reviews. If I go back to the notes here, so let me X out of this. It's not letting me in. Okay, I'm back. So after we've done that, then we get into our lesson. And Monday, I said buckle up because it's going to be it just takes a lot of brain work, a lot of math. And I put this on here just because I was watching this video on being motivated. And if a kid decides to not act, like not be trying on math problems that they don't feel very good in, and you're like, oh, this is hard, then if you decide to not act and not try, what is the cost of that? What is the cost of inaction? Well, it's going to compound itself. Tomorrow, it's going to end up being hard again, or even harder than the day before. So next year, it's going to be even harder than that. So it's just mentioning to them, yeah, it's going to be hard today, but we can do hard things, and that's how we grow our brain, and blah, blah, blah. So having that conversation with them as you started. I am having you skip the solve and share, and you are just going to give this visual, and it is the 4th slide, I think, and it's just a straight up problem. It's the 5th slide, no, 4th, yeah, this one. So they're on their whiteboards, and they go forth, and you say, just go ahead, multiply those mixed numbers together, right? Give them like 1 minute to try it out. All right, perfect. Do not go through the answer. Don't have anybody share. Then you would show my video, and I will talk through that the answer is actually not 6 1/4, and I give them a visual and explain why with an area model. And then at the end of the video, I say, okay, that takes a long time to make this area model. And when you get into middle school and high school, your numbers just get bigger and bigger. So it's just going to be a more tedious process to use that visual. So we are going to learn how to do it with straight up numbers. So then you would go forth and show them the goal for today, and that's to multiply with mixed numbers, and that we're going to cruise through the area model. We're not going to use it. We're going to use the straight up number way because that is going to be quicker. But in order to use the straight up number way, we have to already be good at a prerequisite skill, which is changing mixed numbers into improper fractions, because that's the first step when we are multiplying with mixed numbers. So they would be on whiteboards or they could be on paper, whatever. You'd use this Google slide deck, and I start off easier and it gets progressively a little tougher without any scaffold. So first, they're given the picture of 2 1/4. And then I ask, okay, there's your mixed number. What is that as an improper fraction? So they can see the fourths and they can quickly count that that is a 9/4, because we have 4 and 4. That's 2 4s and then 1 more, which makes 9. Okay, let's try this one. 4 2/3. Okay, I'm trying to show them that it loops around every single time. We're working in thirds. So my thirds are always just going to stay there. We're working in thirds. But how many thirds are there if I have 4 2/3? So I don't just have 2. I have how many over here? Well, I have 4, and in each one there's 3. So that's 4 times 3. And then I have to add on my 2 more. So we kind of get into the algorithm of it. So then I give them the next one with the scaffold of, we know it's fourths, but how many fourths are there? I'd have to do 4 times what plus the extra what. And you, when in doubt, draw it out. At least in 5th grade, they could still draw it out. And you can see the visual, let's see, that I use. I drew 2 3/4. Now, to get how many total fourths there are, well, I'd have to take 2 and multiply it by 4, because in each one there's going to be 4 fourths. And then I'd add on my 3 extra. So it matches what you did in the algorithm. And then you just keep going on until you get to one where I didn't tell you anything. Okay, and then we're ready to go. Then at that point, you could do some sort of brain break or push-ups or something, exercises. And then you would show the another look 8.7 video, and they will show them that you have to go into improper fractions and then multiply across. And then you're going to have to use your long division skills to get back to a mixed number. Yeah, so it takes a lot of math. And yeah, we thought multiplying fractions was easy. They are when you can just multiply across. But if you have mixed numbers, we first have to take that step to make them into fractions, not mixed numbers. Okay? Tuesday, you're doing it again. Practice, practice, practice. From that lesson, you could use those practice problems in their student workbook. And then after a period of time, here are some more problems to practice with. They come straight from the test. They are the exact same problems. You don't have to tell them that, though. And then Wednesday would be the test. Friday is the 100th day of school. So I gave you some ideas if you wanted to do some sort of 100-day activity. All right? All right.